Sorceress is a 1982 action fantasy film from director Jack Hill. This movie was made for 3 reasons: Conan the Barbarian and naked twin sisters. Somewhere in Fantasyland, evildoers are out to kill Little Red Riding Hood. This is Tragon, super evil bad guy. This lady escaped with his firstborn child, which he needs to sacrifice to the god Calgara in order to keep his powers. Although he discovers that she had twins.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
But which one is the firstborn? All these questions and more will be answered in the next episode of Sorceress. She won't tell them which one's the firstborn, so they give her a very unpleasant bikini wax. Not for nothing, but why don't they just sacrifice both of them? Just then, Kung Fu Jesus arrives to save the day. Okay, really, this is Krona. Turns out he and Tragon used to be friends until Tragon turned to evil. Oh no! Tragon's got Betty Davis eyes, which upsets Krona. He's weakening him, but the baby mama stabs him in the back. So Krona made a deal with the Dark Lord that he can live 3 times. This was death number 1. With the mother dying, she pleads with Krona to take the babies and raise them safely. He agrees to raise them as great warriors, but...
Girl children are the sport you gods have with us mortals.
He feeds the babies Baja Blast pie, and now they're linked forever.
These 2 shall be as one.
They need some love like they never needed love before. Krona goes to visit Dargon. He gives them the girls and asks them to raise them as his own. He tells them that one day the bad guys are going to come looking for girls, so he needs to raise them as boys. Over at the temple, the hell is that thing? Is that Kevin? It's been 20 years, and now Tragon is ready to be reborn. So there he is. He returns in the same clothes he died in. And now he's fabulous! He sees Delissa, who just got back from the Lilith Fair. Tragon tells him he's going to rule the world once he summons Calgara. Oh, I'm sorry.
Calgara.
He tells his troops to go and find the girls. As Corman would have it, the 2 of them are now 20 years old and sexy as hail. There is a lot of nudity going on. A satyr sees them and,
What's that? Which he carries there, hanging between his legs? I don't know. Some kind of horn?
They get out of the water and punch him in the face. Bah! That's my fetish! The 2 of them are now the world's first fit tomboys. They head back to the village, which is under attack. They don't seem to be the best at disguising that they're not girls. Maybe they could have put them in pants instead of skirts. Dargon fights them off with ye old nunchucks, but gets killed. The 2 who are one are running in blue-o-vision. They kill the bad guys, and are pretty boss in doing so. After all the bad guys are dead, the satyr arrives with Balder. He's going to tell them all about his gate. They have a funeral pyre for their family, and then Krona shows up with his luxurious beard.
8.
He tells them about the past, but leaves out that pesky "you are girl" parts. He tells them that they need to kill Tragon. In order to do this, they need to use the power word Vital. After that, he goes, well, guess I'll die. Balder joins Mira and Mara to help them on their quest. They head to the local town. I think this is the world's first old country buffet. This guy's dubbed voice is awesome.
Well, barbarian, will you call the serpents again?
Erlich upsets the guys, and he has to fight his way out. He runs into Balder, who helps him fight the brigands. Whee! The twins join in too. Haikiba! Erlich brings them to safety before the soldiers arrive. The twins disrobe, and this is where they discover that they are indeed women.
Girls? What do you mean?
Erlich tries to describe bosoms.
Like this? Well, yes. I guess we never thought much about it.
Meanwhile, Balder is like, I'll be in my bunk. One of the local strippers easily fools the girls into following her. She leads them right into a trap. Delissa arrives in town with her beast man. She plans to test to see which one of the 2 is the firstborn. They put her face in hot coals, That reveals that she's the firstborn. Just then, Balder and Erlich arrive to save the day. They head into the Smoke Machine Forest where they'll be safe. Wow, the Forbidden Forest doesn't seem to be so bad. Balder then explains the birds and the bees to the twins.
Do you know where babies come from?
The monkey men use laughing gas and manage to kidnap Mara. They take her to Tragon. He tells her she's a princess, and so she just kinda goes along with it. Meanwhile, they're gonna execute Erlich by, shoving a spear up his ass. They find his amulet, and it proves that he's, something or other, and now they can't execute him, yada yada yada. Mira and Baldar go looking for Mara. Tragon tells Mara that soon will be the day when she can become the queen. Delissa goes to see Erlich, who's drinking some Ecto Cooler. She tells him she wants to be with a real man and not Tragon. She tells him he needs to have sex with Mara and then they can be together forever to rule the world. Wait, I gotta have sex with the hot blonde and then I can rule the world with the hot brunette? You son of a bitch, I'm in. But it was a trick. Erlich goes to show Mara what love is.
You really don't know.
Has it to do with this feeling I get in my loins?
They then go on a trip to Bone City. Since the twins are linked, Mira feels, well, you know. Balder's having a rough one right now. Back at the temple, Tragon is doing magic. Now that Mira's done having long-distance sex, she goes with Balder to find her sister. They try to sneak in, but get captured. Tragon uses his magical green magic, which makes them fall into the earth. Well, that takes care of that. The Beastman's upset because they promised to give him Mira if he helped them. So he goes to do, something. That night, the planets align to prepare for the sacrifice. They just love all things green. Balder and Mira are trapped underground. She fixes his arrow wounds. Beastman goes to get his brothers to mobilize them against Tragon. The Beastman finds the satyr, who goes to his village to get some warriors to help Balder. Mara and Erlich are compelled by the power of green, and they don't know what they're doing. Meanwhile, underground, zombies! Swords against zombies aren't very useful. Gotta look for something blunt like a mace. Call on Paylor to turn undead and, wrong property. Mara seems to be pretty okay with the whole I'm gonna die thing.
Now, my love. Quickly.
Mira gets grabbed, but remembers the power word.
When all seems lost, use the name.
The hell is this thing? Let me see that cover. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Flying lion thing. The word breaks the spell, so Mara and Erlich can fight back. Tragon panics and sacrifices Delissa. Here! This one's good enough, right? So now she returns as a giant half-lizard head with laser eyes. The earth is being crumbly, so Mira and Balder can escape. Tragon calls forth his zombie army. Although the zombies aren't interested in fighting, they just pick up the row of virgins and leave. I imagine this is how most young actresses feel going to a Hollywood casting party. Mira and Balder help Mara and Erlich. And now the harrowing battle of the winged lion puppet and the half-lizard head. The cataclysmic battle takes all of 3 seconds.
That was easy.
The villagers show up to fight, and they brought along their sheep. The lion puppet leaves. Erlich kills the guard guy. Tragon turns his sword into a snake. He goes to kill him, but double arrow to the back. So he's dead again. Still got 1 life left. Erlich then comes out of the temple thinking what we're all thinking.
Isn't one enough for you?
You forget, Baldar. These two are one.
Ah, good times, good times. But seriously, girls, we gonna triple up or what? The movie was shot mostly in Mexico on a budget of around $500,000. It was co-written by the director, Jack Hill, and Jim Wynorski. Although Hill had asked for his name to be removed from the film because he wasn't completely happy with the end result. Another case of don't believe everything you read on the IMDb, it says that Corman used the pseudonym Brian Stewart, which is the first names of his 2 sons. Problem is, His sons' names are Brian and Roger. Originally, actor Sid Haig was supposed to be in the film, but Corman refused him at the last minute. The score for the movie was recycled from Battle Beyond the Stars, just one of many to do so. The big joke in the film is that the movie's called Sorceress and has a sorcerer, but no sorceress. Apparently, Corman asked for a list of potential movie titles from a local high school, and Sorceress topped the list. Also, the cover art for the film just has one woman and not two twins. Speaking of which, the big draw of the film was the two identical twin sisters, Lee and Lynette Harris. They had just done Playboy and were brought in here for the obvious sex appeal. Two nude twin sisters is a pretty big selling point for this kind of film. The sisters' acting career didn't take off like they hoped, and this was their biggest and last role. A few years later, in 1989, they were indicted by a federal grand jury on tax evasion charges. Evidently, they were paid $1 million by an elderly rich man for sexual services. Apparently, they never paid taxes on the money. They were convicted, but the charges were dropped on appeal. Sorceress was the first film Corman made to capitalize on the success of Conan the Barbarian, which eventually led to the Deathstalker series. If you'd like to learn the story about that, check out my video, Exploring Deathstalker. Sorceress is a fantasy film that delivers. It's got mystery, puppets, zombies, sorcery, monkey men, sword fighting, and naked twin sisters. Who could ask for anything more?
Let me know if you find a cold river.